I am honored to have this pleasure to talk to two-time Super Bowl champion, member of the College Football Hall of Fame, first African American quarterback to start a modern day football game. And by the way, his nickname is the Magician. Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk to Marlin Briscoe. Mr. Briscoe, hey, thanks for taking some time out to sit with us. And I know I've been working on this for some times, and I know schedules get a little crazy, but once again, man, thank you for joining us. And I have to say, when we look at quarterbacks in the NFL, that title, African American quarterback, do you feel as though we're going to get to a point where we're going to look at quarterbacks and just say, well, he is a quarterback, and we're not going to look at maybe their skin color? Is there a time coming when we actually just call quarterbacks quarterbacks?
Well, actually, with the plethora of so-called black quarterbacks in the league now, basically they're being looked at as quarterbacks now. Still have a way to go, but they're deemed quarterbacks right now, and I think that's where the game should evolve. When James Harris, myself, and Warren Moon, and the quarterbacks back in those days, we were looked at as a black quarterback. Now you have a bunch of guys that can play the position, and they're a quarterback, and simple as that.
Well, you were the first African American quarterback in the NFL, but the first African American quarterback to play for the Denver Broncos. Now, Russell Wilson will be under center for the Denver Broncos. When you first heard that news, what was the first thing that came to mind?
Oh, that was it was godsend. He's a hero of mine. He's a tremendous talent. The thing that he has going for him is that he's a dynamic leader.
Well, speaking of leadership, and you played the position, how important is that? Because at the time that you were playing, obviously you were not viewed as being a starting quarterback, but you became one. So how is it that a quarterback can get individual team members to buy into the leadership that he's presenting?
Well, I've been playing quarterback all my life, so I knew the demeanor and the skill set that I had to have in order to pull it off.
Guys like yourself have paved the way for today's quarterbacks. I mean, when you think about that, I mean, you have to feel as though that is a tremendous honor to know that they stand on your shoulders and you have opened up this pathway for them to not just be great players, but be great pillars of the community.
Well, I didn't know that I was going to play that day, and I only had a smattering of plays, just a few plays, and I had no idea that I was going to play. And when Lou Saban turned to me and said, "Okay, you're in," my my mindset was, well, just go out there and play like you played in college. And that's what I did. Because I only had maybe 6 plays. And, we were behind, so I knew we had to throw the ball. And the only one that wasn't surprised that I could pull it off was me.
Right.
I remember guys looked at me like, what? That kind of a look. And I just went out there and played ball and try to make, something out of whatever little arsenal that I had. But the guys, they played for me, and they saw that I wasn't nervous. I was the only one that wasn't nervous going out on the field. And all the thing that I wanted to do best was complete that first pass. If I could complete the first pass, then I could get going. And it ended up completed the first pass to Eric Crabtree, and went on down to score. got the ball back, went down and we scored, and the guys, it picked up momentum for the guys in my team. I just was thankful that God ordained me to be the first black to start at quarterback because somebody had to do it. And as it turned out, everything went perfectly, for me and that team. We didn't win the game, but we almost pulled it out.
I have to say this. I mean, you are truly a pioneer, trailblazer. All those adjectives can be used to describe you and what you were able to do. And once again, the pathway that you open up for so many quarterbacks in this league after you. Now, with everything that you've done in your career, going back and, your rookie year, 14 touchdowns, amazing. And when I talk Hall of Fame, and when you hear people talk Hall of Fame, how great or what would the feeling be if you got that phone call and saying, Marlin Briscoe, hey, welcome to Canton? What would that be like for you?
I've been waiting for that phone call for a long time. Not being braggadocious or anything like that, but I think that I should have a consideration for getting in to that fraternity.
And then you rightfully deserve an opportunity to be there. You've blazed the trail for so many other quarterbacks who currently play. Russell Wilson, Teddy Bridgewater, Patrick Mahomes, Kyler Murray. All those guys have you to thank. Doug Williams. All these guys have you to thank because you were the first guy to break through, I would say, that glass ceiling to let everyone know in the league at that time that, African-American quarterbacks, they were leaders and they can actually move your team forward. But I look for the day that Canton, Ohio calls you and you have that honor bestowed upon you. Now, your story is an amazing story. It's not just a Marlin Briscoe story. It is a story of inspiration. So what do you think it would take to kind of maybe get Hollywood to make a movie about your story, your life, and the things that you went through in the NFL?
Well, this has been under fire for quite some time, trying to put together this movie. It's a movie that I think that should be told, and it's not just a football movie. It's a movie of hopefully inspiration. I just think that it should be told, and it's in the making. And I'm just elated to have been that person that let people know that a black man could think, throw, and lead, on a football field at a high level.
Well, you've definitely, put your production on tape for those to recognize your contributions to the game. And once again, this is not just a Marlin Briscoe story. This is a Denver Broncos story. This is an NFL history story about where the league was to where it is right now. And the Denver Broncos, I think about 2 years ago, there's a coaching internship that's considered or called the Marlin Briscoe coaching internship or fellowship. But when you heard that was being done in honor of your name, I mean, what did it do for you? Did it kind of validate some of the things that you've done early on for the Broncos organization?
Well, absolutely. I didn't know I was going to make my niche as a wide receiver. I had never played wide receiver in my life on any level. I started playing football at a time when, you had to be very, very lucky and I guess good to go from one position to another and make All-Pro and get 2 Super Bowl rings at a position you never played before. And so that inspiration to young people to realize that everything is not going to go your way and you can't give up. That's my mantra. You just can't give up. So that's one of the things that, I'm particularly proud of the fact that I didn't give up, and I can show other people, youngsters, that everything is not going to be rosy for you, but just keep going. Something will break for you.
What was it about you and what you went through, your work ethic, that allowed you to transition to so many different positions?
Well, I've always had supreme confidence in my athletic ability. Growing up, coming from top four in the league, I've always had to make adjustments. Like anybody else in life, you make adjustments. You know, that was one of the things that I think spurred me to mix athletic ability with grit and determination. I think that was one ingredient that I had to have, and grew up as a kid, was able to mix that up into a successful career.
Well, I tell you what, it was one successful career. It is a story that is a story that should be told, and it's a story that everyone can kind of see themselves in, because we've all had our issues in life, whether it's football, business, or even just kind of any walk of life. So I want to thank you for sharing your story. We need to definitely make sure we continue to pound the pavement so your story comes to light, because once again, this is NFL history. This is Broncos history, right? This is football history. And everyone needs to know and hear the message and the story of one Marlin Briscoe, a.k.a. the Magician. Mr. Briscoe,
Thank you.
Thank you for giving us some of your time. Appreciate it, sir. Have a great day.
All right, you too. Thanks a lot.